YouTuber Mandrake, quite beloved YouTuber who covered the topic of shooters, also known as Kelvin, recently got a Google Doc made in him. The document covered mostly the topic of, you guessed it, of course, attraction to minors. Almost just like any Google Doc that has ever been made about YouTubers. There were also short videos that didn't get quite as much attention due to low quality or just due to information in them. Surprisingly, the proof out of this doc is not just empty allegations of like 2 year gap, quotation marks grooming, etc., but an actual weird behavior around minors, hiding of minors on his Discord server, admitting to some of his crimes, and problematic age gap. Of course, there are some debatable points where I will sort of defend him, since I want to ensure fair judgment for him, and not just to find an excuse to ruin his career. I'll go over lighter, less severe stuff he's been accused of, with the first one being accusations of posting CCM. Image presented as proof shows Calvin or Mandrake, but I'll refer to him as Drake, posting a drone image of a guy holding a much smaller female while having inappropriate acts with the person watching them. It is unclear if that was really a child depicted. In the worst case scenario, he could be considered a lolicon, but I'd say that just his pretty edgy humor, which can also be seen in his videos. However, there is more stuff confirming that he's a lolicon. For example, he has been reviewing, for some reason, a game where you are in stations involving highly suggestive accidents with minors. It is unclear why would someone who's uninterested in lolis would post such content, as it is, to say the least, quite weird. So here's a video of him playing the game.
Sadly, the song that plays during this is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if Mandrake, the creator of this game, is like a professional music producer or something.
I mean, looking at the Google Doc, it is obvious that he has really severe problems with addiction to a certain orange site. He has been often horny texting women, including minors. That just further verifies that he most likely played the game not for the content, but due to the fact he was aroused so much by the game that he decided to make a video covering it. That's pretty funny if you think about it. Imagine going to the orange site, finding content that was so goonable that you decided to make a video where you praise the music and etc. While Drake is a certain addict to certain content, and most likely a lolicon, he is also a MAP, minor attracted person. He admitted to it by himself, as you see in those screenshots, saying that his career would be ruined if he got exposed. And you know, I have just one question for Drake. Drake, if you knew that the things you did were so wrong, or at least would be unappreciated by your followers, why would you ever mention them? Why would you even do them? You dug your own grave, and there's no one to blame but yourself. You could get so many different women. You don't even look bad. You had a YouTube channel with 50,000 subscribers, but you decided to ruin it, just for some temporary pleasure. Couldn't you at least hide it? It's been more disappointing for me, considering I've quite enjoyed his content. However, I didn't answer a question. Why did Drake consider himself such a person? Well, the answer is quite easy. He had an intercourse with a 16-year-old while being a 20-year-old. While in some states it is legal to do it at 16, Calvin came himself to her state, where it was in fact illegal, as you can see on the following screenshots where he admitted to it. And mind you, he broke intercourse with a minor is quite serious law, and he could potentially become an offender in his state. But hey, the orange site brings him even more trouble. He was often seen streaming the orange site to minors on his Discord server, which is another crime distribution of adult content to minors. I mean, even if it's not a crime for which he'd be punished, it's still a pretty questionable and unprofessional thing to do that could affect the way companies view him while trying to find someone to do sponsorship. Stop confirming that it is his Discord are voice messages that have his voice in them, voice messages where he is self pleasuring, further solidifying his problems with certain sites. Here's the audios.
Pal. Mhm.
I think you have a really hot voice, and I'd like it if you sent a voice note.
I would consider him a young, sensitive man with a big heart, but he himself joked about collecting a harem of women to collect for content that he may pleasure himself to, while calling others losers and making fun of them. Imagine being such a loser and still have the audacity to make fun of others. That's just miserable and actually quite sad. Interestingly enough, it seems he can't find women his age because majority of the women that he flirted with were minors. With overall proof, it is quite obvious that he is quite guilty. He admitted himself to being a bad person and said it could potentially harm his reputation. I do not see why he shouldn't be considered responsible for his actions and why he shouldn't be rejected as a content creator. There is simply no purpose to support such people, as they will use the fame not to entertain, but instead to boost their ego and gain people whom they can use for personal good. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. I want to credit Kawaii Old Man on YouTube for the videos where proof has been shown. Clucky Piled on X/Twitter for sharing of the document, and others who may have played a role in gathering the information. I didn't get any proof. I just happened to be the guy who decided to be the messenger in order to spread awareness about the situation. If you'd like to support me, you could subscribe to my Patreon or join my Discord server. That's it for today. See you next time and have a great day. Oh yeah, also I forgot to say special thanks to Kawafa for donating $20. Well, not donating, but subscribing to a subscription on Patreon for $20. Yeah, thank you, dude. You're the best. Love you. Take care of yourself. Other people should also subscribe and give you money or something. That'd be nice. Yeah. Bye bye. Bye bye. I mean, I didn't really expect for Mandrake to be a map, but looking back, I realized he was pretty creepy as a person. Looking at his videos, he just talks about the topic of the terrible stuff so jokingly and unserious compared to other YouTubers. Because other YouTubers, they speak in a serious tone, while he jokes and he calls them nicknames. It just felt more so that he's insulting the people that he's talking about in order to make himself feel better, kinda. That's what I've been thinking, because he seems like a guy with pretty, well, not really low self-esteem, but that is very paranoid about stuff he might lose, that is very worrying about his looks, and he wants to make himself better about his actions, about his looks, so of course he has to make fun of others. I mean, if you know 764, he's probably was in a similar gang. I mean, he did try to make fun of people online, he targeted some maps and then trolled by LARPing as a female and then showing up at the cam where he's actually in a mask. That was his Twitter, but it was remote, so yeah. But yeah, that's it. I have nothing else to say. Bye.